Anyone still do not recognize this car? This is one of our new upgrades. We call it Gosmilo, one-wheeled surfing car. Why call it a one-wheeled surfing car? It is the first one is a powered. The second. It is a one-wheeled, and it is an electric drive and can be recharged. It is the basic principle of a motorized balance bike. Secondly, you do not look at the construction of it is very simple. Is just a piece of a wheelboard, but it is a riding experience is to ski or surf. So I personally, often it is powered one-wheeled surfing bike, or powered one-wheeled snowboarding car. So I personally, often it is powered one-wheeled surfing bike, or powered one-wheeled skiing bike. Next, I give you a brief demonstration of how this car works, or how to ride it before this. You want to make sure that the screws on it cannot have loose. If there is loose, you can screw the second check. The tires have no air. If there is no gas, or gas is not enough, you can slightly inflate the third ride before you make sure that the car has been charged. You can see that I put this car placed on the concrete here. When placed, when one end is up and one end is touching the ground, it switches up this end before the ride. Here when the concrete floor placed, when one end is up, one end is touching the ground, it's the switch is in the up this end before riding. After pressing the switch, it has a white light on the cocked end and a red light on the touching end, and the charging hole is on this end, the dripping end, because the battery is on this side. After turning on the machine, because we changed the new controller, this new controller, it is based on that VESC system development to, it basic travel feeling. If you have understood before, 1W words should know its basic play. You turn on the machine after basically waiting for a 5 to 6 seconds. This way the best first from that. Drop down this end first and go up this side first. And then lift the other foot on this when, this time it will not start. And then why just now you need to have a personal. I'm here to help. Because this is the time when you have to pedal this car to a flat. Stepping on a flat you might be a little bit if you're out of blood. Well, do not understand, is that you have to slowly often this side of the cocked foot, this side to step down, stepped on the balance, and then at this time, it will have a point of leveling point just to find it. Then it will be, this, motor will start it after, the car will be, it will have a system of balance, so that your body will be balanced. This car is no forward, no nothing. Forward or reverse. You can use either side as a forward or backward direction. Normal, I first take this side for example. If you want to move forward to this side of the body, to this side slightly tilted to this side, because it is a balance car balance principle. You have to know that it is relying on the center of gravity to maintain the balance of your center of gravity, to this side tilted a little bit for example. If you today to this side tilted a little bit, and it's going this way, it's going this way, it's going this way, it's going this way, and then it stops and tilts this way. You can see what it looks like if I'm moving forward. It's a little wobbly in the process. It is acceptable range, because our default, when we go out of the default angle, is that it can have a pendulum 20 degrees, if there are individual feel that the angle is too small or too big, or it has a pendulum of soft and hard need to be adjusted, you can contact us. We can help you reset the app. It's a forward or a backward. This one is forward to backward when the speed is relatively small. If you're at too much speed, if you need to brake, you have to lean back. When you lean back, it'll slow the speed down to 0. I'll make one. Simple braking maneuvers. You can see that basically, if you want to slam on the brakes, it can accept that when you slam on the brakes, it can go all the way to the bottom on this side. What's the equivalent of a ground brake? Of course, if you're a beginner riding for the first time, the advice is that you don't ride at too high a speed. Then when you get up there, you can get used to the car a little bit. What it can do for you is psychologically acceptable. And then after you're probably familiar with it, after a few minutes, you can try to get on the road yourself to do some acceleration and deceleration movements and then turn if the turn is actually nothing special. It's a wheel. It's a wheel that relies on your center of gravity to adjust its turning angle. If you turn this way, your body will go in. Then turn to the right. Move your body to the right. Just lean forward. Maybe this piece of the turn we need to get used to a little bit. Of course, if you are not 360 degrees in the original turn, in fact normal, you ride in the process of a little shoulder to the left or right. Tilt it and it's done. Let's say you make a big turn like this. The next one is getting off. Getting out of the car suggests that there are only two actions. The first one is either simpler. What does it look like is to jump down. Remember, both feet at the same time to jump down. Do not just have a foot down. A still on top of that is not allowed, because the car, it is the system inside a delay. If you have a foot down, a single foot is still on top of the words of its system is actually still working. At this time, maybe, if you are operating in this way, it will produce a little danger. Is that the car? It will be working because of its own, it will suddenly scamper out. Do not hit the side if there are people or other cars, what not to hit the second one. It's gonna be a little, how shall I say, a little harder. You can basically use your right foot on this side. It's better to use your right foot first to get used to it. Move the toe of your right foot slightly towards the edge, and then lift your heels up. And then make your heel follow the pedal skin, disengaged with the pedal skin disengaged contact. As for one side is that it has been disconnected. After the disconnection will stop working, but not the whole system is disconnected, is the sensor disconnected. So next time, basically, this is the two methods. Of course, I just said that if you pry it down again, then if you have any questions, you can ask online, or if you are interested in this, you can contact me directly.